Good morning, everybody. Welcome to those who are watching this recorded. You are in for a treat today. I know you have been seeing everything AI, and we are now going to talk about AI in dentistry with two of my most favorite people. If you do not know who they are, make sure you follow them on social media at My Social Practice. They do great work. They have great content, and they have a combined experience of 26 years in dental marketing, and they refuse to let the dental market fail. So let me introduce you to
I
Blake.
just want to let you know, sorry, Hartley, I have 22 years of experience and Blake has one. Just
22 and 1. So I love it.
Not true.
I love that. So Blake Hadley is the founder and president of My Social Practice, and Adrian Lefler is the CEO with, the 22 years of experience. So you know who to listen to the most.
Yeah, we'll take it from here. Thanks so much, Hartley,
Thanks,
for having us. We love our relationship with Ultradent, and we've been working with you guys for quite a while now, and we love the partnership we have with you. So we're excited about doing this webinar. Let me share my screen here, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, everybody see that okay? We good?
I see it.
Adrian, okay, great. So like Hartley mentioned, I'm Blake Hadley. I'm the president. Adrian is the CEO of My Social Practice. My Social Practice is a digital marketing agency that works specifically with dental practices. So we've been doing this for about 13 years now. We've worked with thousands of practices, helping them. We initially started in social media marketing, hence the name My Social Practice, and we still have the leading service when it comes to social media marketing management for dental practices, but we also help with websites, SEO, reputation management, a whole suite of digital marketing services we can help you out with. So let me tell you a little bit about what the presentation is going to be today. So I'm going to take the first 25 minutes and I'm going to talk about how generative AI is changing imagery, audio, and video content when it comes to dental marketing. And then Adrian is going to take the next 25 minutes and talk about how generative AI is changing written online content with powerful tools like ChatGPT. So how you can improve your online presence using these powerful tools. And at the end, we'll take about 15 minutes or so for any Q&A. So during our presentations, if you have any questions at all, feel free to write into the chat or the Q&A section of Zoom, and we'll address those at the end. I wanted to address this, the title of our presentation is AI in Dentistry. Because we're a marketing agency, we are going to talk primarily about content, creating dental marketing content online using AI tools. I recently did a webinar with a company called Pearl, and I talked with Sheila Roth from Pearl, and Sheila talked about how AI is changing dentistry in a clinical way as well. And so if this is a webinar that you would like to watch, you can scan this QR code. This will go to the recording of that webinar. She's going to talk about how, all these x-rays that are being dumped into AI programming are able to determine and help give you a second opinion on where caries are and different problems with dentistry, so that it will help you diagnose some of these problems. So it's pretty amazing what they are doing. It's partnered with them, and it's been neat to see that technology. So feel free to scan this QR code to learn more about that. All right, so a couple quotes just about AI. This is the co-founder of Sun Microsystems. He was an early investor in ChatGPT. He said the future of AI could free humanity from work. People could work when they want to work. 80% of jobs could be completed by AI in the next 25 years. I'm sure, like Hartley mentioned, you guys are seeing all this information about AI in the news right now, and it could be maybe kind of scaring. It also is very scary. It also is very exciting to think about what AI could do, and maybe it could replace some of our jobs, which could be the scary part, but it also could help us in so many ways. Like Sam Altman said, the CEO of OpenAI, he said AI will likely eliminate millions of jobs, but we can create much better jobs. this will be the greatest technology humanity has yet developed. So for us, we're seeing it help our job so much more, especially in marketing. Even though it's, could potentially take some of our jobs, it's creating a lot better jobs. So let's talk first about generative AI and what that is. So did you have something, Adrian?
No, I was just clearing my throat.
Oh, okay. Well, Adrian, I'm going to have you actually help me kind of explain about generative AI. So you cleared your throat at the right time. The official definition, I guess, of generative AI is it's artificial intelligence technology that can produce various types of content, including text, imagery, audio, code, or data based on prompts. So AI is used in a lot of different ways. AI has been around for a long time, and you probably use it more than you even think. When you're looking for a location on Google Maps, that uses AI technology to help you to get to the place you're trying to go the fastest. There's a lot of ways that we use AI. But generative AI has really become a little more mainstream as it's become a lot more user-friendly. Basically, anybody can put in prompts into a computer, into a program, and they can immediately or very quickly get what they're looking for: text, imagery, audio, code. And the reason why I can do that is because these computer programs have trillions of pieces of data and information that it goes through to be able to predict what you're looking for and the answer that you're looking for. And the thing that I think is really neat about it is it uses algorithms and what we call large language modules to mimic human creativity. So it's not just producing an answer for you that's, just cut and dry, black or white. It actually creates, it mimics creativity, which is really incredible. It almost seems human-like in a lot of ways. Adrian, is there anything you want to add to this, the definition?
Is your next slide the search slide?
No, I don't have it. Why don't you give that example?
So I'll just give you an example. So the way that I understood this is I started learning about AI when over the last year, as ChatGPT was released, the latest version of ChatGPT was released, is to compare it to search. So when you go onto a Google and you go and you search something, let's say you're going to search Jack and Jill, you could search Jack and Jill in Google, and the results that you'll get will be history articles, there will be videos from YouTube, there'll be poetry sites. Basically, you get a set of information that will say, hey, or this information has been tagged with metadata. This is kind of like what search engine optimization is all about. It's like tagging content with certain keywords so that it shows up in search. So I might find a video, like a YouTube video, that's been tagged Jack and Jill, right? Or a poetry site that's been tagged in its metadata Jack and Jill. So it's a tagging kind of like system, the search is. If you go into ChatGPT and you put Jack and Jill, it'll finish the sentence. It'll just say Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. So it's not actually looking for factual data like a search engine. It has the model, the software algorithm in it is built on a predictive modeling system. So it's using language like the human brain uses language. When I say Jack and Jill, you think went up the hill. It just comes into your mind because your brain is, our brains are built to be predictive models as well. If I say peanut butter and jelly, jelly is what comes into your mind. So you put peanut butter and in search, you're going to probably find a bunch of companies selling peanut butter, right? But if you put it into ChatGPT, it'll put jelly on the end of it like a human brain works. So it's not creating factual data, it's predictive data information.
Yeah,
that's the best way I've been able to understand kind of how it works.
Yeah, no, thank you, Adrian. And it's not always 100% correct. It gives you a predicted answer based on the information that's loaded into it. And it has trillions of pieces of data loaded into it. But if a lot of the data is not correct, it means that maybe you won't get a factual answer.
Or it creates something out of thin air, assuming that that might be the response, which is something that's happening in that people are kind of realizing. They've called these hallucinations, which is weird that they use a very human word to explain a computer program creating a hallucination. But a hallucination in AI is when a model creates something that doesn't exist. So I don't have a great example. There was an attorney who recently probably read this article or saw it because it went to the front page news, but he basically wrote his statement using ChatGPT, thinking that it was creating factual information, got up in court and relayed all this, and everybody's like, this isn't true. And he'd had no idea that ChatGPT would just create stuff out of thin air. So he got caught and, I don't know, lost the case, I think. Anyway, so.
And we always got to fact check our information that we're getting out of AI. So the way that generative AI can help us, it can help us with our struggles of creating great marketing content. We know that if we can create great content on our website, on our blog, we can rank better in Google. If we can create great content on social media, we'll get more engagement and more people following us. So a big problem always, as I speak to many dental practices, is just the ability to come up with great content. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So maybe you don't have enough time to do that. Maybe you don't enjoy doing that. Maybe it's difficult to come up with those creative ideas of what to post and what to write. Or maybe you just lack the resources. You don't have an in-house copywriter or graphic designer that you work with, or even a social media manager that can write posts and write captions and respond to reviews and all the things that come with social media. So AI really can help us. It can change the way that we create great dental marketing content. And we wanted to go over 4 different ways that AI is changing content, from imagery, audio, video to copy. So I want to start with imagery. So the first time that I messed around with AI was from a website called MyHeritage. And basically what you could do is you could upload a bunch of images of yourself. It asks to upload different angles of your face and full body and, different, I don't know, just different times of your life. And so that it can understand and predict what you look like.
That's your mugshot in the bottom in the middle, Blake.
Oh yeah, that is.
A little bit angry there.
What's up? That does look like my mugshot. They wanted different expressions, so I threw that one in there. So I uploaded all these images, and then it created images of me at different time periods in the world. So I guess this is me as a caveman here. Here's me as I think this might be a Greek god. Wow. Different styles of hair. I thought this one was pretty cool, thinking maybe I'll change my style to this. So that's one thing that AI can do. It's a good example of putting a vast amount of data or a number of pieces of data to create a new piece of content. Another way that AI is being used in imagery is enhancing photos. So AI can predict what pixels are supposed to look like. So if you were to upload an old image of your grandfather, maybe here on the left, maybe you took a picture of a picture and it's very blurry, AI can predict what pixels will look like by sharpening up those images and produce what we see here on the right. There's an incredible software called Midjourney that anybody can download or use, and you can subscribe for a free account or there's a paid account, and it will create images based on prompts that you put in. So all three of these images are created by AI. These are not photographs. As realistic as they look, these are AI generated images. So basically what you do is you can go into the program and you can put in something like extreme close-up of a woman smiling, perfect teeth, dark skin tone, cinematic lighting, high resolution. And in minutes, it will create 4 different images of what it thinks that you're looking for. So here's an example here of 4 different images. And then you can decide which one that you're trying to create, and you can give it more prompts to enhance the image or change it slightly and create a very realistic looking image. So these are all AI generated images. They look just like photographs. And it does very well with teeth. It used to be when this first came out, teeth didn't look so good. They're actually kind of scary, but over time they have been, I'm not a dentist, so you're probably looking at this and maybe you can see some flaws in this, but I think it's fairly accurate. Just the shine off of them and the detail in that is pretty incredible. So as you think about the imagery that you are creating for your website or your blog or your social media, these are images that you could start using. You can also get creative with it. It creates images in different styles. So this one here on the left, we asked it to create a dental office in a claymation type of style. You can see if you look closely, there's some kind of strange things happening in there. It's trying to figure out what a dental office looks like. And over time, it will just get better and better. This one here on the right.
The patient doesn't have any legs.
That's true. Yeah. So there's another weird thing there. Yeah. And all the dental instruments are a little bizarre. So over time, I think this will just get better. The one on the right, this is a painting and you can see his hands, the dentist's hands. There's some weird stuff going on there. Even from the time that we made this image on the right, Midjourney has been able to create hands a lot better. So hands and teeth are getting a lot better as you create them. This one on the left, as we said, put a baby walrus in a dental chair, and it created that in a Pixar type of style. And this one here is a dinosaur in a dental chair. Again, some weird things kind of happening with the instruments and the dentist, but just the detail of that is pretty amazing that it can create that from scratch. Here's a couple dental chairs, and one in paradise, one in space. Just trying to figure out what that would look like.
I got a whole bunch of those dental chairs in space on the AI channel, like a ton of
them. Adrian has created all of these, by the way. Adrian has become the master artist in AI. He did a bunch of comics or illustrations of different celebrities in the dental chair. The one on the left there, Jimi Hendrix. Got the Beach Boys over here on the right. If you want to see some of these images that we're creating and we're messing around with, you can scan this QR code. We created an Instagram account called Dental AI Art, and you can follow us and just see what we're doing. And feel free to take any of these images as well. We cannot copyright these images. Nobody can copyright images that are created through AI at this time. Adrian has a whole blog post about that if you're interested in learning about, where the legal system is currently with all of this art that's being created. But currently, anybody can use art that's created through AI. So one way that we're using AI art is we have what we call our dental social media publisher that we provide to all of our social media clients. And it's a software that we load in a ton of content and imagery for dental practices to use. And some of them have stock imagery. And we've used a lot of stock imagery over the years to help create graphics. We'll brand the graphic to the practice with their colors and their logo. But now we're starting to use some of the AI generated graphics that we've been creating and putting it into this just because they're really eye-catching and captivating and fun. And we're picking certain ones that we've created and loading them in here for our clients to use. If you're interested in learning more about the publisher, our software that helps you schedule out content and gives you access to a huge library, it's probably the largest library of dental content out there to access and to schedule and load into a calendar. You can scan this QR code and fill out a form for a demo of our publishing tool. One other thing, so I'm a graphic designer as well. AI has been helping with imagery to do things that used to take forever to do as far as editing graphics. So I recorded this little video of if you had this graphic here and you just wanted to show the kid in the middle but remove the other kids from the photo, you can simply just use this what's called a lasso tool to select the kids around the one kid you're trying to leave, and you can put into AI, remove these kids from the photo, and within seconds, it determines what's behind the kids and it removes them. So if you say, I want to change this soccer ball into a basketball, you could just select the soccer ball and it will quickly change it to a basketball. And then one other really cool thing that you can do with this is you can expand the background, and you can say, if you want your image to be bigger, you can have AI predict what it looks like in a larger area around him, and it will predict what that school looks like behind him and create your image a lot larger. So the way that this could work, for your dental practice, let's say you have your team photo, but your photographer only gave you a photo that's kind of this horizontal size, and you need to use it for maybe your Facebook cover photo or something that's a little bit larger for a flyer. You can do that same type of thing, expand the background, or you can have a graphic designer help you do this, expand the background, and then say that you want to generate pixels of what it looks like behind. And very quickly, it will give you 3 different choices of what that background might look like instantly, which is really incredible. So it's making the graphic designer's job a lot easier. Even if you wanted to remove a teammate, that's something we could probably do, a team member or a partner that used to be at your practice and is now gone. This was a funny meme that I saw the other day. This woman said, for $10, I'll edit your ex out of your photo, serious inquiries only. So this technology is making it very quick, very easy to do that. Sometimes it's just good to have a graphic designer on your team or someone that you can trust and hire to help you with little projects like this to create great imagery for social media or for your website. All of our clients have access to our graphic designer team, and any ideas that you have, you can have us create that graphic for you. A lot of times, if you were to hire a graphic designer, it would be very expensive to hire a one-off graphic designer to do a little project for you, but we include that in our service. As many graphics as you need, we can help you with that. Okay, so that's imagery. Next, let's talk a little bit about audio, how it's changing audio. This first example is pretty cool here. This is a new song by Paul McCartney, and they wanted to see how it would sound like if it was in his voice from when he was in the Beatles. And so they used AI technology to take the new song and change it to his old voice. So here's the new song.
I got crows at my window, dogs at my door. I don't think
And here's the AI generated song.
I got crows at my window, dogs at my door. I don't think.
So if you know the Beatles and how he used to sound, that's pretty dang accurate. Here's another example. This is a TikToker that did the same thing, but he wanted to hear how his voice would sound as Kanye West. So he wrote some lyrics that sound like it would be from Kanye West, and then used AI to put his voice over his.
I lost Adidas, but I'm still Yeezy. Back in the kitchen, man, I'm a genius. Boys in the hood, just like I'm easy. Kanye, Weezy, Southside of Chicago, life ain't easy.
I lost Adidas, but I'm still Yeezy. Back in the kitchen, man, I'm a genius. Boys in the hood, just like I'm easy. Kanye, Weezy, Southside of Chicago, life ain't easy.
So this has been pretty crazy in the music world. There's actually someone probably out of their basement created a whole song by Drake. It sounded just like Drake. The lyrics sounded like Drake, and it became top of the charts for like a week until Drake heard it and said, "Hey, that's not me, guys," and shut it down. So it's going to be interesting to see what the music world does with this technology. I want to show you a couple more examples of what it's doing with audio. This is something that just released with the new iOS on your iPhone.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm KBHD here, and this is maybe the wildest new feature I've ever seen added to the iPhone.
Okay. So inside of the accessibility settings of the new iOS 17, under speech, there's something called personal voice. They didn't even really talk about this at the keynote, but it uses recordings of your actual voice to stitch together a synthesized voice to sound like you and say anything. There's actually a whole process you have to go through where it gives you like 15 minutes of text prompts that you say out loud into the mic. Then it processes everything on your phone overnight, and you wake up the next day with a new personalized voice where you can type to speak.
Alright, so this is what it sounds like to speak on my voice. I really think 30 frames per second is the correct frame rate. Anyone who says otherwise is clearly faking it.
It sounds pretty good. It clearly is a little bit robotic still. It kind of sounds like talking to someone on the phone with like a poor connection, you know? But still, in 15 minutes to have a voice that can do anything is pretty crazy.
So this is going to be available to everyone. You can create your voice by giving it a bunch of prompts of what your voice sounds like, and you can basically have this speak for you. So that'll be interesting to see how this will work in the professional world, and maybe even as a dentist, maybe how you could use this in the future. This one was really cool, that was just sent to me recently, about how AI can translate your voice, not only translate it, but also make it sound like you.
I just had one of those moments that happen sometimes in your life where you're just so mind blown at like the advancement of technology and how quickly it's moving. They just announced this mind blowing technology called Video Translate. At the end of this clip, you're gonna hear my voice in Spanish, and I didn't record that audio, right? So it's gonna clone my voice. It's gonna use deepfake technology to move my lips, and then it's going to accurately translate the text. This is now available to you. You record it once, you record it in your original language, and then you can translate it into the other languages with a single click. Acabo de tener uno de esos momentos en la vida en los que te quedas asombrado por el avance de la tecnología y su rápida evolución. Acaban de anunciar esta tecnología alucinante llamada Video Translate. Suena muy básico. Sí, traduce tu voz, pero lo que va a suceder es que al final de este clip vas a escuchar mi voz en español y no grabé ese audio, ¿verdad? Así que va a clonar mi voz.
So not only does it sound like him, it's translated, but also now his lips are moving as if he's speaking in Spanish. And if you speak Spanish, I speak Spanish as well. That is pretty accurate with the accent, and everything is pretty amazing. So that's audio, how AI is changing audio. Video, that showed a little bit of how it's changing video with deepfake technology and how it's changing how his lips actually move. There is a program called Deforum that's very complicated to use. It's not very user-friendly at this point. It's not just something that you can download and figure out very quickly, but it's allowing content creators to create videos like this by splicing in a bunch of images together and creating movement, kind of like a stop motion type of video, but it can predict what the movement would look like from one photo to the next, and it generates movement in between. So I'll show a couple examples of that. Here's one. So artists and creators are really having a lot of fun with this. And again, over time, things are going to just look more and more realistic. It's going to be hard to know what's real and what's fake online eventually. This one was really neat. This is actually it looks like a drone is flying through this house, but this is actually AI. This is a bunch of photos that somebody took of the inside of their house, and they generated, put in all these photos into an AI video generator, and it made it look like a drone is flying through because it predicted what the movement would look like in between the photos. So this one was something I thought directly how it could apply to a dental office. If you're doing a tour of your office, I'm sure maybe some of you have done that. You've hired someone to come into your office and to do a 3D tour of the inside of your office. This could be done, once it's evolved into a program that's very user-friendly. You could do this simply with AI. I'm not going to show this last example. There's a funny video. You can look it up. It's called Pepperoni Hug Spot. This is a video that is somebody created it purely with AI. The text, the copy, the video, the sound, everything was created by AI. Sometimes it's a little jerky when I try to show it on a live stream like this. So go ahead and look it up. It's kind of scary. But it shows you that we're not quite there when it comes to generating complete commercials or marketing commercials using purely AI. We always have to we probably have to have a human in there to help us out. So those are the three areas that I want to cover: imagery, audio, and video, and how things are changing, so you're aware of how you can be creating new content online. Adrian is now going to talk about copywriting and how you can generate blog post content, website content, and other type of content using ChatGPT.
So just a little bit about ChatGPT. It's not the only copywriting AI tool out there. It was kind of the leading tool. It launched, September 2021, the company called OpenAI, which Microsoft put $10 billion into this company. They took all the information that they could possibly find on the internet and dumped it into their algorithm to create the large language model and the predictive model. And they've iterated on that since 2021. They've updated the algorithm. There's new versions. We're on ChatGPT 4 now. But every other company out there that's kind of a leading technology company is right on the heels of these guys. Google's got a product called Bard. I know Facebook announced that they're working on one. I think Amazon might be working on one. So now that this is kind of like been created and it's the capabilities of AI are really kind of fascinating. There's a race to develop more sophisticated and complicated chatbots and video creation stuff and all the stuff that Blake has shown you. Most of the things that we've shown you so far were built on the OpenAI program. So Midjourney was the tool that did the images. That's built on I don't think they say it, but everybody supposes that they built their software on the OpenAI algorithm and whatnot. So anyway, but ChatGPT is one of the products from OpenAI. And let's talk about it here. So a few months ago, Ryan Reynolds did this commercial, which kind of introduces the idea of creating copy using AI. I thought it was kind of fun to watch. So let's watch this.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. We're always looking for ways to save you money. So this year, we're kicking things off with an ad that I created using ChatGPT, the AI technology. This is what I asked it to write. I said, write a commercial for Mint Mobile in the voice of Ryan Reynolds. Use a joke, a curse word, and let people know that Mint's holiday promo is still going, even after the big wireless companies have ended theirs. This is what it wrote. Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here. Period. First of all, let me just say Mint Mobile is, but here's the thing. All the big wireless companies out there are ending their holiday promos, but not Mint Mobile. We're keeping the party going because we're just that damn good. give Mint Mobile a try. And hey, as an added bonus, if you sign up now, you'll get to hear my voice every time you call customer service. Just kidding, that's not really a thing. Stay classy, everyone. That is mildly terrifying, but compelling.
All right, pretty fun. So, there's a question here. I'll answer it really quick. The question is do you advise a dental office to jump in with all these AI tools, or would you recommend selecting one and learning it before adding others? If the latter, which one would you recommend to start with? I would say that you start with, you need to use ChatGPT and copywriting tools. Those are the easiest to use. They seem like they create the greatest gain. And in these examples that I'm about to show you, you'll see kind of what I mean and why I would suggest that. So if you go into ChatGPT, you can set up a free account. I believe the paid version is like 20 or 30 bucks a month. That gives you the latest version, version 4. I used version 4 in these examples, but you can use it to do almost anything that has anything to do with copywriting. You can correct spelling and grammar. So you could take an article, you could dump it in there. It would correct it for you if you told it to do that. Proofreading, writing articles from scratch. You can summarize content, like my kids coming to me 3 months ago saying they needed to finish articles and they wanted to learn how to use ChatGPT to write their exam papers, which I showed them how to do. Pass the bar exam, write your exam paper, write any exam paper at any grammatical level. You can tell it, write me an exam paper on this subject, blah, 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 at an 8th grade level, and it'll do it. Help doctors spot disease, kind of like the Pearl example, but they're also using AI in diagnostic and diagnosis across the medical fields. All of them are really tapping into this. You can do your taxes with it. You can take a photo of what's in your refrigerator and upload that, and it'll give you recipes that you can make with what you've got in your refrigerator. Most importantly, it can do story problems because we know how much everyone hates story problems. So I grabbed this story problem off of the ACT prep test, and I just dumped this in here into ChatGPT, and I made a little video. So here it is. I'm going to play this video. This is me. This is what the ChatGPT interface looks like. On the left, you've got chats that you've created with different inquiries. And in the middle, you've got the place where you can put your question or whatnot. So I put in there the ACT story problem down there at the bottom with the potential answers. And here's what happened. In this ACT thing, I'm going to hit go. Oh my gosh. That is unbelievable. So yeah, and it was right. So let me give you a use case example to answer Daniel's question about what tool should you start with. So I say use ChatGPT because this is a good example of why. So Midjourney would be a close second. That's the image creation tool that we use to create all the images on that Instagram AI art channel. So I went into Midjourney and I created a graphic. I said, show me an up close image of a man smiling in muted black and white colors with a piece of green food in his teeth. And I got a whole bunch of images. This is the one I picked. So I grabbed this image because I had an idea to write a blog article on behalf of a client of ours. So I created this image, and then I went into ChatGPT and I wrote the article. Now, there are some caveats to writing an article in ChatGPT and then taking it directly from ChatGPT and then putting it onto your website or a blog. I don't recommend that. I don't think it's the right way to go about using the tool. So I'm going to play this little video of me using ChatGPT to get the article written. And you'll see how quick and how effective it is at developing a good rough draft for an article. And I'm just going to play this. I'm going to explain it as it's going. There's no sound on this. So I go into ChatGPT. Let's see, is it playing? Yeah. And I say, you're a dental marketing guru. Please give me 5 titles for an article on flossing, because I've got that image. Make them ironic, fun, quirky. Floss Like a Boss, the untold story of dental dance moves, Flossing Fiesta, how to turn oral hygiene into a party in your mouth, The Great Floss Caper, unraveling the mystery of dental string. So I said, using number 3, because I like number 3, write me an outline for a blog post about flossing. Optimize the outline for Candy Kong and her dental practice, Sweet Smiles Family and Cosmetic Dentistry in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. And then announce a flossing challenge campaign that she's going to do. So it's writing the outline. Now, I like to do this the way the people use ChatGPT in different ways. I like to start with the title, give me title examples, come up with a concept, and then from the concept, write an outline. Then I go through the outline and I edit there. And sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 different outlines, removing certain ideas and adding new ones. And I don't do that in this example, but you could say, rewrite this outline without this section or whatnot. So then I tell it, okay, take that outline and now write me the article. Now notice, welcome to World of Sweet Smiles, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, where Dr. Candy Kong and her talented team turn dental care into a fun and enjoyable experience, located in Henderson, Nevada, and proudly serving South Las Vegas, Whitney, because I told it up above to optimize for those areas. So it's crafting an article and it's inserting these geographical locations, which is really important for SEO, but in a very fluid manner. It doesn't sound like, an SEO bland article where things look like they're plugged in. It really crafts something kind of nice. So it writes this whole article, even gives me hashtag ideas and so forth. And the Floss Caper Challenge, it came up with a hashtag campaign that we could use, and then adds a conclusion. Now, here's where hallucinations can come in. I asked it to have a message at the end of this from the doctor. So Dr. Candy Kong shares a personal message. This is a hallucination. It's not something that she's ever said. It just made it out of thin air. I am incredibly grateful for my amazing patients, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you embracing the hashtag Floss Caper Challenge. Thank you for making Sweet Smiles and Family Cosmetic Dentistry the go-to dental practice in Henderson, and it drops in some of those geographical areas. So if I'm writing this as a dental marketing company, or I'm on the team and I'm in charge of writing copy, obviously you have to check with the dentist if they're okay with that quote, right? Because it's not something they've actually said. That information was never written online. ChatGPT didn't find it somewhere. It just made it up. Okay. So this is why you have to be super, super careful about copying information directly from ChatGPT and just throwing it online. You shouldn't do that. When I write, I'll start with ChatGPT. Well, first of all, I start with an idea. Okay, I have a concept, like I wanted to do something about flossing, and so I created the image, right? So if you have an idea, if you don't have any ideas, hire somebody, okay? Because it's going to take too long coming up with ideas. But you have to have an idea first. You have an idea, you come in here, you come up with some titles, you come up with an outline, then you write the article. From there, what I do is I take the article and I put it into Grammarly. I check it for plagiarism. Almost all the articles that I write in ChatGPT have virtually no plagiarism. So it's writing custom copy. But I take it into Grammarly and I craft it and update the tone. I change adjectives. I usually change about 30 to maybe 50% of the article. And then from there, I take it into an SEO optimization tool that I use to help optimize the copy for SEO. So when I get the final article, it's probably 30, 40% of what I started with, which is, it's not like I'm just making something in ChatGPT and then posting it, right? But like, how long does it take somebody to write the initial draft for a blog article? I mean, think about it. I know, working with more than 7,000 practices over the last 13 years, there's like one dentist on the planet that likes to blog. Nobody else has the time to do it. So this gives you a really, really quick jump start to writing copy. And you can use it. And I have several other examples in this presentation, but because we're running long, I'm not going to show them to you. I'll just mention them. but you can use it to write mission statements. You can update your About Us copy on your website. You can update all the copy on your website so that it's custom, right? You can write emails with it. You can write all sorts of anything that's copy. You can write and update with this, and you can quickly change the tone. I could go to my website, and let's say I have a cosmetic dentistry page that only has 250 words on it, and I want to triple the size of the copy, and I want to create a better tone. I could take that copy, put it into ChatGPT, say, I want to expand on this, and I want to touch on these subjects, and it'll write it for you, and you get something that you can then edit and tweak in 15 minutes and be done. So copywriting costs and the time that's required to do copywriting is dramatically reduced. This was an example about how to update your About Us page, but I'm going to skip over this because we don't have enough time. I will mention, I'll just kind of piggyback on Blake's mentioning the publisher. We have this publisher tool. We actually integrated ChatGPT into it, because one of the other things that takes a lot of time in dental marketing is creating social media captions, right? Writing really interesting captions. So in the publishing tool, Blake had kind of earlier mentioned that you can grab a graphic, or you can upload a graphic to it, and then you can or that we have a whole lot of graphics in there that are AI generated. Once you've selected a graphic, you can quickly create 10 different captions for it by integrating Caption AI. You can do this, or you can just jump into ChatGPT and ask it to write captions for you. But we've got it built right into the system. So if you're wanting to use a software tool to help you manage your social media and to write captions, you should check this out. We can give you a demo of it if you'd like. But you just go into it, you select an image, you say, write a caption about the benefits of dental implants, make it excited, make the character length, the Facebook character length and the Instagram character length, and give me 3 different options. And boom, it happens in half a second. Creates the captions, creates emojis and hashtags, and you just select one and attach it to the image and post it. Super, super fast. So this is how AI is like speeding up content creation and the amount of time that's needed to manage marketing. It's like a big deal, right? All right, I have a question, and then I'll just mention this QR code. If anybody's interested in seeing a demo of the publisher, I'm going to one-up Blake. I'm going to buy you lunch. We'll buy you up to $100. I'm going to give you a caveat. I'm not bringing a 40-person team onto a phone call and have to buy everybody lunch. I'll spend $100. So up to five team members, $20 a piece. How's that? You shoot that QR code, and we'll call you, schedule time, show you what the publisher looks like, and you can eat a yummy lunch on us, okay? The question that I've got here is, do you have any tips on how to fact check info ChatGPT gives you? Are there any AI services that currently provide citation links to the info they give? As far as I know, there is, well, I haven't looked to answer this question. I haven't looked for a piece of software that will check content created by ChatGPT for factual data. I haven't checked that. I know Google's Bard system is working on that. There's probably a tool out there. These tools are coming online literally every day. So there may be something out there. But what I've done is, because we write marketing content and we write content for dentists, and we know the industry, we've been doing it for so many years, we really know kind of what's factual or not. So it's easy to spot something that might be a hallucination inside of ChatGPT. One of the most common places where information is crafted by ChatGPT that's not factual are quotes, like in the example that I've shown before. So a quote from a dentist, or a review of a patient of a dentist. I wrote several articles early on, and I actually said, write an article about blah, 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 and use one of this dentist's reviews from Google. And I put a link in there so that the system would know to pull a review and create it. And what it would do is it'd go read all the reviews, and it would create a new one that was similar to the other ones. So they wasn't polling actual reviews. So you can't, as far as I understand, you can't put a link inside of ChatGPT and say, go to this and check it for factual data. Or, I mean, any kind of fact checking is not on par with what I think the question is here. So you just got to be careful. You got to spend the time after something is written and make sure that there's nothing in there that might be a conjecture or an assumption, and then you have to check it yourself. Okay, good question. Let's see. If you have any other questions for me, you can shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions. And then I'll if we want to turn the time back over to everybody, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna end my screen share here. And then we can take questions if we need to. Any other questions?
It looks like we have a hand raised.
Okay. Raise hand raise. Okay, where is it? See, I'm trying to look through here at the answer. I've got open. Let's see. I'm looking at the Q&As.
If you go to participants, Harley, could you do that? Maybe if they meant to do that, could you allow them to talk and ask the question?
While you're doing that, Hartley, I'm going to come up with a question that I know somebody's thinking of. I actually put it in the webinar chat just to see if anybody, nobody responded to it. But one of the common responses that I'm getting when Blake and I go out and speak about this at events is AI generated copywriting being spotted by search engines like Google, and then the pages on your website that have it are being devalued. So basically, can the copywriting be identified as AI generated copywriting? One, and then is Google, Yahoo, Bing, and all these other search engines, do they recognize that and say, this is no good, and they devalue it, and so you don't rank higher in search engines? That was actually a valid concern up until like 2 weeks ago. Google announced in their September helpful content update, which is an algorithm that helps with their ranking system. And they basically said, we are allowing for quality AI content, copywriting content to be created, published, and we're not devaluing any of it. As long as the content is helpful, it's relevant, it's, people are reading it, then definitely it's not something that's going to hurt your search engine rankings. It'll actually help you improve your search engine rankings. So.
Okay.
It looks like you allowed Young Bone to speak. Did you want to ask something? It looks like you're on mute. If you want to ask, maybe, or unless maybe you accidentally raised your hand, and that's okay. Looks like he's on mute, so that's okay.
There's another question in here. Do you notice that ChatGPT is able to generate quotes that sound human, or do they sound robotic, as if they're based off of press release copy? The quotes sound superhuman. They freakishly human, to the point of like this lawyer who got up and read his ChatGPT response as his statement at court, right? So the large language model, because it's getting better and better at sounding human. Matter of fact, you can go into ChatGPT and you can say, write me a poem in the style of Hemingway about a tree, an elm tree, and a bluebird that get in an argument about whether God exists or not. And it'll freaking write it like Hemingway. So it's that good. I mean, if you can think it up, it can probably do it. It's kind of a little bit freaky, right?
I have a meal plan for my entire week for my family. I put in, I need this many meals, a snack, a dessert. I want to keep them in this thing. And it will give me my whole grocery list, my meals for the entire week, how many calories, macros, if you're into that, and some extras for my 2-year-old who's probably not going to eat it.
Wow.
ChatGPT is amazing. It's a great resource.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Something that I've oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, good. No,
Oh,
you're
I
good.
was going to say one thing that I've seen useful for dentists too is with ChatGPT is responding to reviews. You know, negative, positive reviews, especially maybe negative reviews. It's sometimes hard for you to craft a message to respond to a negative review. Well, you could go into ChatGPT and you can copy and paste their review into there. And you can say, please respond to this review in a professional and kind way. You know, you don't want to offend the person writing the review. So if you're just too worked up and you're worried you're going to write something that's going to offend it, you can have ChatGPT help you with that. I wouldn't recommend you just copy and paste what ChatGPT has written for you, but use it as a template, of a way to craft the words. It helps so much. And so I've seen a lot of dental practices use it in that way. So that's another idea.
You know what? You can also, because HIPAA compliance issues with responding to reviews, you shouldn't, basically it says that you're not allowed, or you should not confirm the fact that the person that gave the review is your patient. So you can tell ChatGPT everything that Blake just said, but also say, do not confirm the fact that this person is a patient of the practice, and it'll shift it so that it stays HIPAA compliant. It's pretty wild. There's a Madison Stevens said, we use it to help with posting job openings and descriptions. We've done that too with My Social Practice.
Yeah.
So
that's a great use of it.
So to Daniel's point, what do you start with? Start with ChatGPT. I would say that's the first tool you should use. It's super easy. You don't need to know anything about anything to start using it. It's literally, if you can type on a keyboard, you can start messing around with it. And then I would say the second would be check out Midjourney, www.midjourney.com. That's the tool that we use to create graphics. And I'm just going to let you know that if you get into Midjourney and you start creating graphics, you're going to go down a hole. You're going to slip down a hole, and you're going to start ignoring your family, your other responsibilities. It's addictive. It's like pulling a slot machine.
Yeah, so be aware.
They see an image of blah blah blah, and then it gets in. You're like, oh, and you get a dopamine hit, and you're pop, and it's like, oh my gosh, let's another one. It just
I need more.
Yeah,
it's freaky.
Oh, Madison brought up a good point. It said Midjourney said it's full of free trials. So, yeah, you can't use it for free now, it sounds like, but it's a low. I think we pay something like, what is it, $10 a month or something. You can use Midjourney.
For Midjourney?
Yeah. How much is it? Do you remember?
It's like $20-$30 a month, I think.
Oh, okay. A
Right.
little bit more. But
I mean, if you're gonna mess around with it, it's worth it. I mean, it's just a month to month. You can cancel it after you get it. So I would say sign up for it. You can when you pay the paid version of it, they don't have the free version anymore. It's I understand, but the paid version, you can do multiple images at a time. It only takes like a minute or two for these images to pop up. You can download everything, so it's cool.
Okay, I don't think we have any more questions. If you do, this is your last call.
Yeah.
look good.
Thanks,
Hey.
Hartley.
No, thank you guys. That was such helpful information. I think I'm gonna go be stuck on Midjourney for a while, creating all those images. So see you guys next year.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But
thanks.
it was awesome. Everybody, yet again, don't forget to follow us on social media at My Social Practice and at Ultradent Products. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, go anywhere and everywhere. Other than that, any last things from Blake and Adrian?
I was just going to say this has been recorded. It will be up on Ultradent's YouTube channel after. So give us a few days and we'll load it up there, and then we'll send all those that have registered. We'll send you an email as well and let you know that it's available. So
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
see you
guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Harley. We'll see ya.